Hello, my name is Sam. I'm in my fourth year of college, and over the last 4 years, I've made pretty decent progress in the gym whilst enjoying a night out, whilst not saying no to a night out. So, I have made the ultimate guide to making progress in the gym plus beer. Making progress in the gym and enjoying your college lifestyle. I'm going to put a photo up of my physique of when I started college versus where I am now, or where I was maybe like 10 weeks ago when I did my photo shoot. So look, I've made pretty decent progress, and I've also enjoyed my last 4 year college. I've gone to the gym, I've gone out on nights out, I've done it all, okay? And in this video, I basically want to run through the 5 main tips that I've learned as a college student, and how you, if you're starting college, if you're going into your first year, if you're going into your final year, whatever it is, you want to make some progress in the gym this year, but you also want to enjoy yourself. These are my 5 main tips, okay? We've got Freshers Week coming up in Ireland. For anyone who doesn't know, that's basically the first week back to college, and it's basically the week where everyone goes drinking, okay? So first things first, I want to say, for Freshers Week, go out, okay? It's a week of drinking. Go out and enjoy yourself, okay? Try train whenever you can, but in this video, I want to run through my 5 main tips for just throughout the year. Okay? You've got 2 semesters coming up, you've got September to December, and then you've got January to May, okay? We want to make as much progress as we possibly can in this time frame. So without further ado, let's get straight into the first tip. So tip number 1 is consistency. And I know that's such a basic tip, okay? But bear with me. Don't click out of the video yet, okay? I would advise training regardless. Now, my next point that I want to get to, okay, is find a training split that actually suits you, okay? If you know you're going to be going out once every 2 weeks, okay, or once every 3 weeks, or once a week, whatever it is, pick a training split that you know you can stick to, okay? My advice would be stop trying to train every single day, okay? Pick a split that you know you can stick to, okay? That's exactly what I've done for the last 4 years, and that's what worked best for me, okay? Because what we want to do is we want to make sure our training stays consistent. We want to be still progressively overloading, still getting stronger in the gym to maintain or even build on the muscle that we have. So that brings me on to my next point, finding the split that suits you, okay? So for me, throughout most of my college year, I was on upper body, lower body training split. This meant I'd go to the gym Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, okay? So Monday, I'd do upper body. Tuesday, I'd do lower body. Wednesday, I'd rest. Thursday, upper body. Friday, lower body, okay? And then Saturday, Sunday, rest. Now, you're probably thinking this is only 4 times a week. Well, that is absolutely perfect. It might be a bit more optimal to train 5 times, but 4 times is absolutely perfect, okay? You want to be hitting each muscle group twice a week, and that way, with 4 times, you can still allow for a night out if it does pop up, okay? So find a split that suits you. If you're someone who can't commit to 4 days, full body is absolutely perfect. Full body 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, okay? That would be absolutely perfect, okay? So that is my main tip. Consistency, and make sure you train regardless. Now, I'm going to get onto that point in a bit more detail later on in the video. So that's tip number 1, consistency, okay? Now, tip number 2 is your actual choice of alcohol on the night out, okay? Stick to spirits. That is my main tip, and the main tip I give any of my clients, okay? If you are going out, like me, I have a bit of a funny stomach. I can't just go straight on to spirits. So what I do when I go out is I'll have 1 or 2 beers. I'll settle the stomach, all right? If you're at a pre-drinks and you want to have a bottle of Corona, have the bottle of Corona. Now, Corona actually do a light option as well, so I'd suggest that. But what we're looking for is low in calorie drinks. You want to pick drinks that aren't, if you have 10, 12 of them, you're not going to be slamming 2k calories or 1.5k calories. Stick to spirits. So for me, it was always I'd have a bottle or 2 of Corona, and then you're straight on the vodka. Next pointer, 0 calorie mixers are going to be your best friend, okay? Do not mix your vodka with like a full fat Coke, okay? Get a Coke Zero, get a Sprite Zero, whatever it is. That way, you're only getting about 90 calories per drink. That's absolutely sound. You can have 10 of them and you're still under 1,000 calories. So have a cutoff point. You do not need to be drinking until 2 a.m. in the morning. Now, I am going to get onto this a bit more in tip number 5, where I talk about recovery, but you do not need to be drinking until 2 in the morning. The sooner you cut off your alcohol, so whether that's 11, 12, 1 a.m. at night, the better your recovery is going to be. So the approach I like to take was I would try drink as much as I could in pre-drinks, when it's 6, 7 o'clock, and be quite drunk when I go out. So that way, when I'm coming home, I'm almost pretty sober. Now, I know that might sound a bit weird, but there is a method behind the madness, okay? That is going to help your recovery, and I will touch on that, okay? Tip number 3. Choose your nights out wisely. This was a huge thing for me, okay? If you're starting college especially, any first years watching this, any second year, no matter what year you're in really, okay? You are going to be constantly hounded to go out in the beer, okay? It's just the truth, okay? It's the college lifestyle. So learn to say no, okay? It's okay to say no to a night out. I've done it plenty of times, and choose your nights out wisely. So for me, if it was Freshers Week, if it was Rag Week, any of the big weeks, I'd always go out, okay? It's important to go out on those nights, okay? A lot of your mates are going to be out, a lot of your friends, you'll want to see people, and it's a great way to meet people. But the quiet Tuesdays, the quiet Wednesdays, whatever day is quiet, it's okay to say no, okay? It's okay to say, do you know what, I just want to stay in tonight, okay? And have pride in that. And if your friends do judge you and keep hounding you and hounding you, maybe they're not your real friends. And that's something you will learn throughout the process, you know? Your friends should be relatively supportive. Like, yes, a bit of laughing and joking is okay. But if they are like really, really annoying you, then maybe you need to relook and have a think about who your actual friends are, okay? Your friends should be supportive of your decisions. And if you want to stay in, you know, because your goals mean a lot to you, you know, if you want to lose weight, you want to stay on track with your gym routine, it's okay to say no, okay? But it's okay to live a little, okay? So if there is a big night out coming up, you know, go out on that night out, okay? And I promise you, the less you are seen out, the more you are valued, okay? So if you are the person who goes out every single Thursday of the year, you know, yeah, your friends are going to value you when you're out, but if you're the person who goes out a little bit rarer, okay, and goes out on just the big nights, I promise you, when you do arrive at that pre-drinks or when you do arrive in the pub, you are valued a lot more. And that's not to say that you shouldn't be the person who goes out every week. I'm just saying there is benefits to picking and choosing your nights out wisely. So that brings me on to tip number 4. Preparation is king, okay? And this is where I want to talk about calorie banking, okay? Let's say it's a Monday. You know Thursday's the night you're going to go on it, all right? You're going out, you're going on the beer, all right? It's a big night out, okay? Your preparation should really start from Monday, okay? Now, this will only apply to a certain group of people. If you're trying to build muscle, if you're in a gaining phase, do you need to be lowering your calories leading up to the night out? Probably not, okay? But if you're someone who's trying to lose weight, okay, you've been really consistent, you've had a really good run at it, okay, you should probably be calorie banking, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to ask yourself, right, how many drinks do you think you're going to have on this night out on Thursday, okay? If it's 6 vodkas, okay, or if it's 12, you need to plan accordingly to these vodkas, okay? So if it's 6, right, let's give 700 calories for that. That's 700 extra calories that you're probably going to be having on Thursday, okay? So what I would do is, from Monday, I'd lower your calories by 200. Tuesday, lower them by 200. Wednesday, lower them by 200. Thursday, lower them by 200. Then, lo and behold, you have 800 spare calories throughout the week to allow you to go on that night out. So when you do have your 700 calories of vodka, it's fine because you're still in a deficit for the week. Does that make sense? Okay. So prepare if you know you have a night out. Okay. And that's why, and that brings me back to my last point. Okay. It's okay to say no. Okay. If you're someone who likes to be prepared for a night out, it's okay to say no to last minute plans. Okay. Don't feel bad for it. I've done it loads. Okay. I was someone who, yes, I enjoyed a night out, but I also wanted to feel prepared for the night out. So prepare the week of. Now, this next tip that I'm going to give is probably one of my biggest tips and one of the tips I give to any client that I'm coaching when it comes to a night out. And one thing that I've stuck by for my 4 years of college, okay? Pre-prep a meal before you go out, okay? Now, especially for anyone who's trying to lose weight, if you have been really consistent, you're seeing progress, there is nothing better and there is no worse feeling than when you go on a night out and you know that you've set yourself back a bit. So, how you're going to avoid this is by pre-prepping a meal on the day of the night out. So you want to avoid the chipper. Most people, when they go out, it's not actually the night out that kills them, all right? It's not actually the night out that ruins their progress. It's the after effects of it, okay? It's the chipper, the night of, okay? It's the takeaway the day after. So what you want to do, if you know you're going out on Thursday, right, with the lads, okay? I keep referring back to Thursday because that's the night out we go out in Limerick, okay? But if you know you're going out on the Thursday, wake up that Thursday morning and make a meal that you know you like, okay? So whether it's a fake away burger and chips, okay, that's a homemade chicken burger and chips, or whether it's a spaghetti bolognese, just prep something so that you can have it when you come home after the night out. When you come home, you just throw it in the microwave, you have your meal, and then you're into bed, okay? And I promise you, most of the time, if you do go out and you go to the chipper after, your hangover the next day will be worse. If you eat good, you feel good. If you eat bad, you feel bad. And that is, you know, that is just true, okay? So if you are someone who's going to the chipper after a night out, you will probably feel worse the next day. You'll probably wake up like feeling greasy, okay? So have a nice meal after the night out, okay? Now, this brings me on to my next tip, okay? high protein meal before you go out. You do not want to be going out on an empty stomach. A lot of people think, okay, I'm going to be having extra calories from the drink, so I'm not going to eat. Don't do that, okay? Make sure you get your protein in, okay? So what I would do is the day of drinking, I'd probably have 3 meals beforehand, and I'd probably keep them all high protein based meals, okay? So breakfast, you know, I might opt for like, you know, an omelette, you know, something high in protein. Lunch, I might go chicken and potatoes, but I might have like a good bit of chicken in that meal. And then before I go out, I might go with a spaghetti bolognese with a lot of mince and a little bit less pasta, okay? You want to be getting your protein in on that day, okay? So try not to go below your protein. Tip number 5, okay? If you've made it this far into the video, please follow me on Instagram, okay? I post a lot more content over there, and please, please, please subscribe, okay? I'm so close to 2,000 subscribers, so any support would be much, much appreciated, okay? But that brings me on to tip number 5, okay? Recovery, probably the most important part of this video. Recovery is key, okay? If you want to make progress week on week and you are going out a decent bit in college, you can't go out and then not do anything the next day. Well, you can, but it's not going to be optimal for progress. Okay, so as soon as you come home after the night out, have an electrolyte. You are going to be dehydrated just from alcohol, okay? Alcohol dehydrates you, so you want to become hydrated, okay? So how you're going to do that is by drinking water and having an electrolyte. Now, the next morning when you wake up, this is where recovery starts. Have another electrolyte, okay? You are still probably going to be dehydrated, and this will help your recovery. When you wake, activate and caffeinate. Live by that. If you take anything from this video, okay, when you go out next morning, activate, caffeinate. Get up, go for a walk. Go with the lads. If the lads are going down to Spar to get a chicken fillet roll, go with them for the walk, get a coffee, get a Monster, something like that, okay? I promise you, okay, when you get up, you aren't going to want to do anything. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be hungover. Your head is probably pounding. Wake up, have an electrolyte, go for a 10-15 minute walk. I promise you, you will feel so much better. Also, another little tip, when you are out, if you're someone who's not a big drinker and you don't go out often, don't be afraid to get a pint of water between drinks. It's going to help a lot with, number one, with your recovery, but also just getting you through the whole night. Something I do it on the sly, go up, ask for a pint of water, you'll be absolutely sound. No one will notice. Everyone's probably too drunk, and it will help your recovery. And then the last tip is just eat good on the day after the night out. Eating good the day after the night out is going to be so, so important, as it's just going to help your recovery, and it'll probably mean that you might be able to train that day, or if not, you'll be able to train the next day. Have you ever gone out and you've gone so hard it feels like you have a 2-3 day hangover? You probably don't. You probably just ate terrible the day after the night out. So go out, enjoy yourself, but eat good the next day, and I promise you, if you go out on a Thursday, you eat good on the Friday, you'll probably feel close to 100% on the Saturday, and that's what it's all about, because that means you can train on the Saturday and you don't have to rest. So they are my 5 main tips when it comes to making progress in college and enjoying the beer and enjoying a night out, okay? The ultimate guide. If you found this video anyway helpful, please, please, please drop a like, follow me on Instagram and subscribe. And as always, I am an online coach myself, so if you are a college student who feels like they need a bit of guidance, need a bit of help, don't be afraid to shoot me a message, and I will be able to help you out and coach you through college and make sure that we do make progress together. Thank you very much for tuning into the video. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and I'll see you then.